Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning LaLaLand. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessica Moyer. This is Good Morning LaLaLand, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV and Roku. And it is Monday Motivation.
Right? We're actually Manifestation Monday today. We're going to take it to a new level. We're going to talk about why some things manifest instantaneously and other things take a while. We have amazing guests in the house who all have manifested love, great expressions, art, and all of the above.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. We got to
yes.
say this. Hello, everyone, back in the studio. We're so excited to welcome you to the show today. We've got Conversations in LA, Julie Mintz is in the house, Aaron Cohen starring the new Nick Cage film, and of course, the lovely Miss California. Good morning, everyone.
To the show.
So on Good Morning LaLaLand, we'd like to know what your morning routine is, how you start your day, how you get set off on the right foot. So I'd love to start with you, Kelly. What's your morning routine like?
Oh gosh, my morning routine, wake up, I have 2 bulldogs, so I definitely let my bulldogs out immediately. And play with them a little bit, make some coffee, kind of get ready for my day, get organized, get ready, and then kind of just hit the ground running. I definitely start work at 8 a.m. and I'm a registered nurse, I don't know if everyone knows that, but yeah, just head to work. But my morning routine is just kind of relaxing and always with a cup of coffee.
Always. I'll drink to that.
Always with
Good morning. Erin, what about you? What's your morning routine like?
Up early, 5:30, gym, lift, get the endorphins kicking, and then I just jump into emails because it's the only quiet time. And then you hit the chair. You start going through your scripts and you find something you love. And then you call and yell at your agent and tell them to get you in the movie.
And manifest that destiny, right? Julie, what about you?
Well, I'm more of a night owl because I'm a musician, so I need to get a good morning routine. I think that's my problem. But like, for example, this morning there was a lot of snooze before I had to get up for this. So once I do get up, I definitely need a lot of coffee to get going and then start working on music and writing. But I do my best writing at night. I'm more of a night
Don't
person
change a
than
thing then, Julie.
Yeah, you just keep doing what you do because you're obviously doing it very well. And good morning. It's so exciting to see you here today. We met briefly on the red carpet when we were celebrating the Emmys this past season, so it's so nice to welcome you to our studio.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your morning routine.
So I like to start the day with positive quotes. I'm really into reading I have a Pinterest board, so I like to go over just whether it's Albert Einstein or some of my favorite actors, writers, directors. So I start out quiet with a cup of coffee, eggs with goat cheese, and then I usually start writing. I tend to have a morning writing routine that goes from 7 till about 10 or noon.
Whoa!
It's intense.
Yep.
That is
I remember
intense.
those days. These have a writing routine. So great.
Yeah. Now you just wake up and talk about it.
Very different these days.
Basically, just wake up and keep dreaming.
Exactly. Wake up, show up, shine. What was your positive quote today, Anne?
It takes courage to be who you really are. E.E. Cummings.
How bad?
That's right. Ah, beautiful. Gustavo, good morning. It's lovely to see you again.
Absolutely. So my morning routine right now we're doing, because it's a one-take show we have, it's 10-hour rehearsal. So wake up, black coffee, hit the gym, look over the script, and get ready to work because it's very, very intense. And I'm doing intermittent fasting right now, so no food before noon, just black coffee and ready to go.
Whoa.
IF is huge right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing the intermittent fasting.
Well, I mean, if it makes you a one-take wonder, I guess I'll sign up too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for being here today. We're excited to talk to you more later in the show.
Do you guys think it's like, I mean, the routines are so incredible. I think discipline, you know, there's a reason why everyone hates the word discipline, but it's kind of amazing when you really start getting into major discipline. And I was the same. I used to write in the mornings, you know, probably till like 10 a.m. always, every morning. It was my ritual, and it was my business really in the morning. And now it's, you know, the show's shook and everything out, but now like everything in the morning is like to the minute. The shake is made at a specific minute, and this and that, like everything's getting more and more disciplined. And I gotta say, I really like it.
Yeah, the structure is one of the best things. We were talking about that before the show. Structure is one of the best things that's come out of the show.
For sure.
Not that I didn't have structure before, but now you're right. It's perfectly timed.
Exactly.
Well, you know what's been great about the show is having structured time to have incredible positive conversations. The fact is we get to wake up with some of the most influential, powerful, inspiring, enlightening people here in Los Angeles and talk about life with them. What an incredible opportunity. So it's amazing to have, the gym routine, and we make our shakes and our toasts at the same exact time, but then at 9 o'clock every morning live, we get to talk with you. And that is the most incredible opportunity, really.
Amen to that, Jess.
Way to structure our day right.
Right?
Absolutely.
Obviously, conversations are where it's at. Have you guys done the questions on Instagram? That's
No.
the whole
It's annoying.
my God,
I just
okay.
don't love it. I'll be honest with you. I just don't love it.
I'm sure everybody has seen this on Instagram. Everybody's doing like the selfie picture and it's like, ask me a question. One, genius, because it really boosts your engagement, right? So way to play the algorithm. But two, it's a great way for you to get to learn some interesting things about us. So I've been following Erin's questions. She's like done these Snapchat kitty filters, like ask me a question. So Erin, what is the most interesting question you've got on these Insta stories so far?
They're random, I thought it'd be like
They're
deeper
super-
questions. They're like, where do you want to be an ambassador for what country, and like what? I'll tell you the most common question is like routine stuff. Again, like what's your facial routine? What's your Sunday routine to get into the week? Things like that. People are really into routine stuff, which I love because I'm all about daily spiritual practice. So I'm like, clearly this is something that the world needs. We need community and we need structure. Like it's two of the big things for sure.
I love it.
Like you always say, we are waking up the world together, Erin.
That's right, for sure. So how was the weekend? What happened with you guys? We literally do not, just so you guys know, we call it Regis because I guess Kelly and Regis, or whoever his partner was back then day, he would Regis it. He wouldn't talk about what he did the day before, the weekend before, so when they got on air, it would be authentic, right? So we literally, I don't know what these guys have been up to.
We're so rude to each other in the morning. It's like, oh, hi, zip lip. So we save it for you so you can get to see our priceless reactions. I had an incredible weekend. It was super fun. I had dinner on the West Side. Rob, I ventured all the way to Santa Monica, had a beautiful dinner at Cassia and Rosé. It was really cool, really beautiful. Went to a new cocktail restaurant, Elefant there. Got to try that out, had a nice glass of champagne and cool community there. It was nice to be a part of the West Side. And Saturday, I was part of the Concern Foundation. So we have some special footage of that we'll get to later after I hear some about what you guys were up to.
I spent the whole weekend at the beach.
Yeah.
Just honestly working out and reading. I read a ton. So
What are you reading these days, Rob?
Oh my gosh, so many books. So I love Joel Goldsmith. He's one of my favorite authors of all time. I read a lot. I'm reading Muji now. Lots of stuff on like presence, and lots of stuff on just peace and love and joy. That's what I love the most. Every now and then I'll read a science book or a business book, but mostly I like reading books on happiness, really.
Right.
Yeah.
I read some of the what was it called? The Awakened Woman's Guide to Everlasting Love.
Yes.
Which is so hilarious because we had them on the show.
London
on
and
Friday.
Justin.
Yeah, amazing human beings. And the book, quite frankly, the cover of it kind of looks like a romance novel, but it's one of the most evolved books you can ever imagine. And it's so fascinating because I think that one of the things I struggle with, and I've struggled with a lot, is I'm very logical. It's hard for me to like drop down into the heart. And being a leader and everything, I tend to get kind of like more masculine. I'm clearly an alpha person. So the book really is about how to like get into, they don't call it the masculine and feminine, they call it the alpha and omega. So dropping into the omega and how you do that as a woman, it's like, and it used to be where we're trying to take on these roles all the time, but instead, I love this about the book. They teach you how to do it at certain times of the day, right? Because I'm not going to be omega and be in the leadership role of work. I need to be in my alpha, and then when I'm in the bedroom or wherever, on a date, then I'm going to drop more into the omega. So I'm really enjoying.
If you missed that
you gotta have it.
interview, you should listen to it on our podcast on iTunes because this couple has a very steaming morning routine that you definitely want to hear about. Well, I kept that book bedside and reading it via osmosis. I did not open the cover, but it is there, and I will get to it eventually. We want to give a big shout out. The World Cup finals were this weekend. Congratulations to the French team. They took home, it was France versus Croatia. Oh my gosh, what a game, you guys.
So exciting, yeah.
Such an exciting game.
I have to say, I'm glad the World Cup is over. swear, it's been a month of like on and on and on. And, like, everybody is like, Sergio's just like, I mean, it's like he's traumatic therapy after this month. There's no question. It's like serious.
It was really special. France won for the second time ever, so it was the highest scoring final since 1966.
Wow.
Yeah.
6 total goals, right?
I mean, it's incredible just to see how it brings the world together to share in that entertainment. And today is Amazon Prime Day, you guys.
Oh,
did you know about this?
I did know about this.
What?
Yeah, I've gotten like 25 emails from Amazon about it.
So all those items you still have waiting in your cart to buy, today is the day to buy them because for the next 36 hours they're having a massive sale. Not just on like your typical household items, some of the electronics are on sale as well. So there's like literally over 1 million deals.
I literally bought a Fitbit at 10:30 last night, so I'm gonna go back on there
Return
today
it,
and see if
rebuy it.
because I was like, I've got to do this. Let's do this thing. I was like, I'm committing.
You're really turned up about this fitness thing. I like it.
I'm serious. So let's talk about Manifestation Monday real quick because we want to get to these great interviews. Manifestation Monday. So we've been taking questions, and the question today is, why do some things instantaneously manifest and other things take a while? And it's a great question. It's a question that I had for a long time because, you know, in the spiritual world, we believe that all prayers are answered instantaneously, right? So why do some things take time? And it's called the law of growth. So, for example, some things can happen instantaneously, like building an airplane. There was always steel, and there was always, were engines before airplanes came about. But instantaneously, through the mind of innovation, they were able to create it. You could create something fast, right? Mm-hmm. However, something like becoming a ballerina dancer, right? You did a lot of ballerina. It takes time because there's rudiments. You've got to build the muscle. You've got to build the memory within the body. So some things take a while, while other things can happen instantaneously with just opening your mind to new innovation, right? So knowing that you are here to manifest, for sure, we're here to consider that we're here having our consciousness informed, so use it in manifestation. It's a fun game, and not just creating a bunch of crap or material stuff, but creating the embodiment that you need to embody. So
what do you think gets in the way of most people's ability to manifest quickly, Erin?
It's a great question. I think that what we resist persists, for sure. So the more we want it, it's like a dance between desiring it and letting it go, the attachment of having it, you know, resisting it, like wanting it so much that you resist that you don't have it.
Amen.
That's a really interesting thing because once you let go of it and just assume and believe it already is, it comes.
That's right.
One of my favorite quotes is, "Infinite patience produces immediate results."
I love that.
Right? Yeah. You can take the pain. Yeah, you can take the pain out of the patience part by replacing the word patience with presence. So infinite presence produces immediate results. That's why for me, I think it's all about not making whatever it is you want in the world the ultimate manifestation or main manifestation, but making how you feel your main manifestation.
Rob,
embodying it.
You deserve a cape.
I got a cape?
For that, you get a cape.
Love my cape.
You are an everyday superhero. Mic drop, you get a cape. This is my little takeaway for you from the Concern Foundation event that happened this Saturday at Paramount Studios.
It's on brand too.
Absolutely. They were celebrating 50 years of superheroes in research, donors, volunteers, all in the fight in cancer. So we asked some of the attendees what their advice was in being an everyday superhero in the fight against cancer. There was over 70 food and wine vendors. The Paramount lot was packed. I mean, there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. We ran into some Focus TV family there randomly, and oh my God, it was a great time. So we have a special look at that video. Let's take a peek for you.
Oh, thanks, Jess.
My name is Billy Bordone, and you're watching Good Morning La La Land.
You're watching Good Morning La La Land.
Good morning, La La Land.
Good morning, La La Land.
My name's Savannah Kennick, and you're watching Good Morning La La Land.
You're watching Good Morning La La Land.
My name is Rex Wilder, and you're watching Good Morning La La Land.
You're watching Good Morning La La Land.
You're watching Good Morning La La Land.
Celebrating 50 years of superheroes, researchers, donors, and volunteers, I'm Jess Moyer, welcoming you to the Concern Foundation's annual block party here at Paramount Studios. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with last year's honoree, Ms. Eden Alpert. Tell us a little bit about your connection to the foundation.
My cousin Derek Alpert has been the president for over 20 years, and I have been coming to this since he was just a volunteer with Concern, and it's always been very special to the family and to my heart, and it's such an amazing cause. And what a great event to do every year.
So we're here at the Concern Foundation celebrating 50 years of superheroes that have been giving back. Tell us a little about your relation to the event.
We've been coming for about 10 or 15, maybe even 20 years. It's an amazing event. It started with Concern 1. They've raised a lot of money for a lot of great causes, different cancer research, and it's just incredible.
It is an absolute pleasure to be standing with the family, the Calvert family, that are being honored here tonight. Tell us a little bit about your relation to the Concern Foundation.
Well, we've been involved with Concern for probably 4 or 5 years now, and we've really enjoyed raising money and doing all we can to get the word out about the great work that Concern does.
Tell us about your relation to the Concern Foundation.
Well, you know, I think it's a great foundation because it's dealing with cancer and it's making a difference. Plus, they're combining the superhero motif, which I think is really great. That's why I'm wearing a cape.
Do you have a most memorable moment from the years that you've been spending here?
Well, last year, you just gave me goosebumps. Last year was pretty memorable. It was overwhelming. I get a little, I can't believe I got emotional. I get a little emotional because last year it was something really big. I've never been honored like that before. And to be here with the whole family, and it's just an incredible night.
And after 50 years, do you have a most memorable moment from all these celebrations?
There are a lot of memorable moments because this thing has grown. Our very first thing was in Al Hart's backyard with Frank Sinatra.
Tell me about it.
I wasn't there. I was.
And it sounds unforgettable.
It was unforgettable.
I want to thank everybody who's donating tonight because the money that's raised really goes a long way in our battle against childhood cancer. I run the program at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. We're grateful to all, Derek Alpert and everybody involved with Concern, for the funds that are raised are really vital to our research.
It's an absolute honor to be celebrating the Concern Foundation with Lily here tonight. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved.
Well, I've been working with Paramount on some productions. The last one was Book Club, and so I was honored to be invited as a celebrity bartender. And then I read up about Jay and Chris and Derek, the president of the foundation, the Concern Foundation, and it's just a wonderful organization. And they help independent cancer researchers. They give millions and millions of dollars in funding. So
how can you say no to something like that, right?
Yeah, and hopefully we find that cure really soon.
We're celebrating the researchers and the donors and the volunteers, but what would be your words of advice on how to be an everyday superhero like you are?
Balance. Balance is really important. I'm still learning how to do that. And don't stop doing what you're passionate about.
You know, I think it really comes down to simply making a difference. How can you make a difference every day? And that can be as simple as just being kind to somebody, being considerate, treating people with dignity and respect.
I've never given up hope that we're going to find the cure for cancer.
I think an everyday hero is someone who's not afraid to help one person and take the time with helping one person, knowing that that's going to change the world.
Keep giving back, helping support others, and be good people.
Just to be brave and live curiously with no fear.
You always need to fight on. It's very, very important to keep your eye on the prize, go forward, and when it gets really tough, you got to just keep going.
It's, you know, touching one person at a time. Sometimes things like cancer can seem really overwhelming, and if you just remember that touching people's lives one person at a time really does make a difference.
Being a little more present, a little more available, and just every little moment.
As an everyday superhero, you have to lead by example. As something as simple as being kind to those around you, and holding the door open for the lady at the store, and just being mindful of everything that happens.
With great power must come great generosity.
I second that.
You have to have a positive outlook. What you put into the world is what you get back.
Gotta be brave, be hopeful, and speak from your heart.
To be an everyday superhero in the fight against cancer is to be there all the time for anyone who needs you.
Stay healthy, donate to the Concern Foundation, and keep rocking.
It's the most important fight globally. So everyone's part of the solution by giving, caring, and there's always somebody that's touched by it they love. So yes, keep on fighting.
And why would you be Wonder Woman?
Because she helps the world.
How old do you think we are?
52.
Yeah, right.
You've got to tell me your secret, ladies, because you have found the fountain of youth.
Keep on going. Just keep moving.
Let the games begin.
Welcome everybody to our 44th annual block party. Our goal is to be out of business. And my hope is that in the next few years, with the advancements that these researchers are making today, we'll be out of business in a very short period of time because cancer will be cured. That's our goal. If everyone would raise a glass with me. And let's toast this year that we're another large step closer to conquering cancer.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited to have Ms. Julie Mintz in the house. You are such a star, gorgeous. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
You're so beautiful. I love your freckles. It's
Thank
so
you.
refreshing.
I try not to cover them.
I love
feel
it.
Like
There's
my
like
unique signature.
that filter
I was gonna say,
on
she's the real life
Yeah,
version of
she's
that
the real
filter.
life version of that filter.
Everybody wants to look like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we're so excited to have you here. Obviously, you celebrate the release of your new album. We listened to your song at the top of the show. And I love how you just really translate like feelings into these like moments. I mean, you really capture emotion in a very unique way.
Yeah, I mean, my songwriting is really, it's very emotional for me. Like, it's definitely my inner world is translated into the writing of my music. I really care about that when I'm writing my songs.
Evolved lyrics, though. I mean, you're making a difference in people's world. Tell us some inspiration. Like, how did these come about?
This album, most of the songs I would say are about like struggling with relationships.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
I feel like everyone can relate to that. But that's something that I was really like going through a hard time when I was writing this album, and like really wanting to fall in love and just like not finding that at all. And so I was working through that by writing these songs. And so that's what most of this album is about.
Wow.
Well, it's so beautiful because it seems as though you've really made your way through that in a way that now you can really step into your own, shine in your own light. We have a special look at the reveal of your cover of La Palm.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Yes, well, we're going to show you
Okay.
right now. Let's take a peek. It is so exciting. You really, truly are incredible, incredible. It's a beautiful lifestyle magazine, and what an honor it must have been to be on the cover. Tell us a little bit about that shoot.
Yes, so I got to be really involved in the styling for the shoot, and I feel like fashion and style is also a big part of my self-expression.
Because if that says who Julie Mintz is, I don't know what could say it better.
Yes, and I really wanted this to be sort of like a little bit of like old-timey, but also you'll see some of the pictures inside. I wanted it to be a bit of an Alice in Wonderland gone wrong. That was my inspiration.
Gone so perfectly right.
Yes.
Wow.
So what
Yes.
inspired the front?
So
the
beautiful.
front of the magazine with the white. What was? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think it's like a little bit of my subconscious coming out, but I think because a lot of my songs are about struggling with relationships, and so that's actually a vintage wedding dress.
Oh, so gorgeous.
But it's also just
Wow.
really beautiful. It's from the 70s, and I felt like it really fit with the vibe of the shoot, and we shot it all in Topanga Canyon.
Oh, it's so LA.
Very
You know, it's funny that you say Alice in Wonderland gone wrong, because when I look at that, I see absolutely nothing but perfection. I mean,
thank you.
in the most beautiful, beautiful way.
Right. So let's talk about the, I think that today in the dating, we want to hear your music, we want to hear about everything, but I do think people can really relate. And I think that telling the story about the struggle of dating and wanting love and not finding that, and how it's come into your lyrics. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, the title of my album, which is out in September, I titled it Abandon All Hope of Fruition. And I was reading a book while I was writing all the songs, and it's by a Tibetan Buddhist nun named Pema Chodron, and she wrote a book called When Things Fall Apart.
Love that book.
Yes, which is very timely to be, reading When Things Fall Apart, because things were falling apart.
What a coincidence.
There's a chapter in the book where she says to abandon all hope of fruition as a piece of advice, which sounds really depressing, but really what she's saying is to let go of your idea of your hope of what you think you need to be happy. And that's really all these things that I was writing about. Like, I need this person that I love to love me back, and then I'll be happy, or I need this to be happy. And
we call it outlining in my industry. So a lot of times we'll think we want love or want whatever, and we have blinders on of how that's supposed to show up. And when we take off those blinders and we kind of just like allow whatever is supposed to come in, it comes in totally different ways than we ever imagined it, right?
Yes.
So how's that been for you?
Well, I think even to just say, this is what I have right now, and to appreciate the things I have now. So not even worrying about the future. So that the hope of fruition, to just let go, stop worrying about the fruition part, and just say, I have these things now. I have a magazine cover that you guys just showed, or like I'm here with you and I'm going to play you a song, and so why am I worrying about something that I think I need in the future to be happy? But it's really hard to do. I'm certainly not an expert at it.
It's such a good point, though, and that's one of the things that I guess or philosophies I've sort of built my life on, is realizing that more and more deeply that it's our hope for the future that prevents us from realizing the prosperity of the present moment, right?
It really
and so
does.
Talk to us a little bit about that. What are you loving most about your life right now? What are you loving most about your music right now?
Well, this is going to be my first full-length album. So just getting to go out and play it for people. This is the first time I've really had the opportunity to do that. I play in a band with Moby, the recording artist.
Wow, that's impressive.
And so, I
mean, one might say you were a bit of a muse, my dear.
Yes, thank you. Well, and so it's been great because I've got to do that with him for about 5 years, and he produced a lot of the songs on this album. And so I've really enjoyed doing that, and I got to play at the Hollywood Bowl with him and do a lot of amazing things, but I'm really enjoying getting to do my own thing now and promote my own songs and have people hear them.
So exciting.
Moby is certainly a legend.
He is,
in the music industry. What do you think you've learned most from him?
I think he's actually really helped me, I'd say, with some of my perfectionism that holds me back. Like a lot of the songs that he produced on this album, he would only let me do one vocal take. And I was like, no, that was just the first take. Let me do it again. And he was like, that's fine, you're done.
Wow.
And I'm like, no, that can't be done. And he's like, you're done, that's it. So I just learned a lot from that of you don't need to labor over everything. And
wow.
Yeah.
That's profound. What do you think, that has been a part of your sort of secret for success? What do you think has allowed you to experience the kind of success you're experiencing now? Is it anything specific?
I think it's actually probably just determination. You know what I mean? I think if you keep going, eventually, I mean, I've been doing this a really long time. I was writing songs in my apartment and playing shows to like 10 or 12 people when I met Moby, and he was like, "Oh, I heard that you're a singer. Would you like to sing backup for me on The Tonight Show?"
Oh.
Yeah. That sounds nice, because I've already been doing this for 10 years, and you know, so I think that hopefully if you stick at it, then opportunities will start coming your way.
So dedication and ridiculous musical talent. That combination works well.
So, yeah.
I love that. Well,
yeah,
are you
you
going to
can't
sing
give
a
up.
song for
I'd
us?
love to sing. I'll sing like a little part of a song. I don't know how much time we have. This is my first single that's out off of my album. This is called The Sorrow Tree. Tell my love and he'll know where he will come and meet me there. Oh, he'll wait for me beneath the sorrow tree. Ooh, 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 beneath the sorrow tree.
Your voice is, I don't know if it carries through, sometimes harder to hear online, but it's like, your voice is, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just so incredibly perfect. It's amazing.
It's bringing tears. It's not just the sorrow tree. It's beautiful.
So
really beautiful.
Oh, so
Thank
where
you.
can people find your music?
So The Sorrow Tree's out now. It's the first single, and that's everywhere you can stream music, iTunes and Spotify. And then the full album will be out September 14th.
Yay!
And yeah, and I'm on Instagram, all social media.
Well, I just want to say it's so important. Music is everything, and it impacts people across the globe. And your lyrics are profound. They are inspiring, and they're from the heart. And so thank you so much for all your work that you're doing for all of us.
Thank you for listening.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys.
And congratulations on the incredible cover of La Palm magazine.
thank
Be
you.
sure to get your copy. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
For you, in this moment, what feels most true to you?
The three of you. Really grounded and present, and like honored to be sitting with other like-minded individuals. I think that it's so important with everything that's going on in the world that this is our now, that this is hopefully the future. And you know, because of the experience with certain things on TV in the past, it's heartbreaking. And it's heartbreaking to watch, and it's heartbreaking to see other people go through it. And people out there watching it don't really understand what it does to your psyche and to your heart. It's just tragic. And so I think what you guys are doing here is absolutely just a gift.
This is my sanity.
I can see that.
There's so much insanity in my life and uncertainty. This is my truth.
I have a hard time saying no to. One is a boy in a band, and the second is a Snickers bar. So I wrote a song about both.
I hear you, sister.
Chasing you down like an ice cream truck. Every damn time that my phone lights up, I'll be salivating at the sound of what's up. Yeah, what's up? Boy, you're delicious. It's too bad you ain't nutritious. When you say my name, it's like candy. When you kiss my lips, it's like candy. You're no good for me, you're like candy. You're like candy, hey.
Oh, thank you guys.
Love addiction. I hear it. Wow.
Do you guys want to be my backup singer?
It's like, okay, you guys, come on. We need to get vulnerable here.
Totally. I think it's okay to pepper it in, and I love beautiful content, and I've always been a fan of putting out really quality content, but at the same time, I think that it's really important for my industry to tell their story.
The mission has definitely been to inspire women to be the best version of themselves and kind of be an example and a role model for a lot of girls that are reading my blog.
What's been the biggest challenge for you in doing this, in building this business?
Ooh, the biggest challenge, I think, is how consistent you really have to be. So what I've had to do is learn that I'm like a cell phone. I have 100% charge and it goes down to 1%. And when it's down there, I need to step back, recharge. The consistency of creating content, it can be a lot, but I think I love it. And
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We am so excited because Erin Cohen is in the house. You are one of the coolest, toughest actors on the scene. I'm so excited for your latest film.
211 with Nick Cage.
I
have a great part in this film. I started cracking this acting thing like in 2011, and it's a grind. But to be able to go toe-to-toe with an Oscar winner, two-time Oscar winner, for about 6 minutes and then get off script and it goes into Improvville, you got to bring the chops.
Well, you got to bring the chops. Counter-terrorist experts to do that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, definitely, yeah.
I mean, tell us a little bit about what your experience was like. I mean, you brought the chops, but what was it like for you?
So, acting is a grind, as everybody knows. There's a zillion of them here in LA. I started doing it by accident. I wrote a book, a memoir. I served in Israel's counter-terror unit. I used to go undercover. That was my dress up as an Arab and do some very intensive, unconventional warfare style operations, which is essentially special operations. And I wrote a book, and Steven Soderbergh called me after he read my book and said, hey, I'm doing a film with Gina Carano and Channing Tatum called Haywire, and you're going to tech advise on it, you're going to be in it, and I need someone who's completely unconventional. I want like Israeli Mossad style expertise in this film. So that was my first movie, and then he dropped me in the scene with Channing Tatum and Fassbender and all these actors, and I was like, this is kind of fun. Like forget this army stuff.
Yeah.
Let's
Less risk involved.
Let's go do Hollywood stuff, you know what I mean? And so I did this movie, and then it just kind of, and then after Haywire, which was, we were in Ireland, we were in Barcelona, it was amazing. I disappeared into every acting school I could sink my teeth into because it's a craft. You have to learn how to go moment to moment. You have to learn about psychology and behavior and all this stuff that I had no clue about, and buried myself in acting classes, and then hunted down an agent, terrorist style.
Yeah, you are a nationally recognized counterterrorist.
I do a lot, yeah, everyone, yeah, it's like love-hate. I do a lot of Fox News. I stay out of politics. I never go near the stuff. But I've done a lot of Fox News, but I'll bounce into CNN, I'll bounce into MSNBC as their national security analyst talking about terrorism and school shootings. And did you guys see the new Sacha Baron Cohen thing that just came out? Where he plays an anti-terror expert? That guy's based on me. Really? He just spoofed me, which is like the highest form of flattery.
So tell us about the film. Tell us.
So 211 is based on the longest and bloodiest shootout in modern bank heist history. Do you remember the North Hollywood shootout in '97? Wow. So it's based on that, and so Cage plays a retiring patrol sergeant. And he's got a ride along with him, and they pull up at this mall. The whole thing turns into a shootout. His ride along goes missing, and basically the film is negotiating this crazy bank heist. And so I show up as Cage's tactical commander, this lieutenant, and we've got a couple great scenes together. And he comes after me, and the director said, "Hey, whatever happens, man, just don't let Cage bulldoze you in this scene. Like, do not let him do it." And I was like, "No problem."
Yeah, I'm like, have you met?
No,
that's not.
But he's very methody, and when he comes down, he's in state and he's ready to go. So you know, it's all just acting, and it's just so much. Afterwards, he comes up to me and goes, "Hey, man, you really brought it."
So I have a question for you. So at Good Morning La La Land, we talk a lot about daily routines, spiritual practices, and you were obviously a soldier, and you grew up in a Jewish family. So I'm imagining there was some discipline in your life. Tell us about how that.
No, we're like my family. Let me preface. My family, we're like renegade Jews. My parents were artists, moved out. My mother was a writer. My stepfather was a writer. But I was never like, and I grew up in LA before moving to Israel to do the army, but I never was in and around Hollywood. When I came back from Israel, I started off as a bodyguard. And then after 11 hit, I got called by a SWAT team in the Midwest somewhere, and they said, hey, can you teach us this Israeli thing for terrorism, just so we know how to respond?
Wow.
And then I've trained over 3,000 cops and soldiers leading up to this acting thing until about 2011, 12. But as far as going back to the routine, here's what it is. It's about being grateful. If you've been in war, if you've been in a forward operating area, if you've been at the tip of the spear, if you've risked your life, if you've been part of a brotherhood, it's about you've done something where you've been a part of something that's so much bigger than you. It's about being selfless. So to get to do a film with Nick Cage, I'm just grateful. And that's what it's about. Just wake up and be grateful. Wake up and be happy that everybody gets to sit here on this couch and do this amazing thing here. We're communicating and doing television. Like, I'm just grateful. And that's really what it comes down to. And I think people lose their way and they forget what's important, like health. You know what I mean? Take advantage of all this great stuff that we have here. And I think that I get the craze of trying to, like, you know, stay on track with how you stay focused, but I just think I've seen enough of the crappy side to just be happy to be able to do this stuff. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Total sense.
I'm not trying to make any crap here.
No.
Totally in alignment. So awesome.
Aaron, what's your next mission?
So I'm going to Kentucky to go do a film, Guy Pearce's new movie. Director loved me.
Wait,
they're doing this crazy biker movie.
Aaron loves Guy Pearce.
Yes, like he's incredible. And so I ended up reading for this part. I put myself on camera, and I've got about 14, 15 pages in this new film that shoots in Kentucky in the middle of nowhere. Hopefully there's a hotel. If not, I guess I'm sleeping in the woods.
Probably done it before. I got a feeling.
Yeah, and yeah. So just I got another film coming up right now, and I still pick at the training world a little bit. So I was just down at Camp Pendleton meeting with the Marines about a potential deal. So I kind of bounce from like sand to set.
If you weren't in an actual movie, I'd be like, this guy's full of crap. Like,
Everybody thinks I'm full of
your stories are incredible.
Thank
but
you.
I mean,
Thank
they're
you.
real. So like,
Thank you.
It's so cool.
What's the greatest lesson you learned from the counterterrorism work that you've been able to apply to acting?
Well, so great question. So I was in this undercover unit, and it's about being able to blend in, and it's about survival. Like, you can get killed. So I would dress as an Arab. I dress as a woman, and the reason why is because it throws off the enemy. They'll have no idea that you're a 90-year-old man walking in the street with a cane. So learning how to improvise and learning how to use your natural abilities for survival has been the easiest thing. And then life experience. There's all these young actors. Like, I was in these classes, there's like 20-year-olds, and they're like trying to find it. And I'm like, you guys just aren't old enough. You need to live more life. You need to go through some more crap in order to like bring stuff when you're in there. It's the same thing with you guys. Like, when you're sitting on a set and you're in front of a camera and you're communicating, it's about like being able to pull stuff and sensing stuff and things that you felt. And so definitely being in harm's way, being undercover, there's no question, it's the greatest hustle ever. So being able to, like, I'm comfortable putting on makeup, comfortable, the toughest thing was the lines, memorizing lines and being able to, like, and you guys have to work quick in TV, so you've got tons and tons of stuff in front of you.
But I would imagine you're also an expert in reading a situation, right? And reading
situational awareness, yes. Being able to, well, not as good as women, so here's an interesting thing. In Israel, all of our undercover agents at LALAND, which is our national airline, are all females because intuitively they're smarter and more gifted at being able to detect lies. And so
you heard it from the
and so as far as intuition and as far as reading situations, men will never come as close to women because when women walk into a room, they have to look at everything. It's for your safety. It's, you know what I mean? Like, who's going to hurt you? Like, and you're walking to the car and you're and all that stuff. So that's something that I've had to develop intuitively, but the situational awareness definitely brings some more skills to the set. No question.
That's so interesting.
Where can people find all the movies, all the good stuff?
So 211's on demand. It's hashtag, anyone should be able to find it on demand. And then this next one, no clue when it's coming out, but it's called, I believe it's called Disturbing the Peace. And my book is called Brotherhood of Warriors. It's a memoir of my time in Israel's top unit.
Such an interesting life.
It's in 8 languages now. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like when you see me at the Earth Cafe, you're like, stop. Stop, dude. Just drink your green tea boba. You're full of crap. Anyways.
It would be so weird to be in La La Land after, you know, that type of situation and then just this bizarre culture here?
I stay away from the nonsense in LA. I'm a hermit. I lock myself in because, you know, LA's a grind. Everybody here's hustling. Everybody here's trying to make it. But there's so much fringe hanging out at parties and doing, and I'm like, there's you guys who are like there interviewing, and then there's everybody else tagging on and like trying to climb in LA. And it's a very everybody's trying to get it here in LA, which I love, but at the same time, it's overwhelming because it's just hustle central.
It's exhausting.
And it's exhausting, and you gotta like, and I don't go out. I lock myself in, and I work on stuff. I go to the gym and I work out, and I try to eat clean, and you know, my girlfriend's like at a yoga thing and dragging me, and like, let's do some downward dog. I'm like, fine. But then I walk out, and like everything's like, I'm like kind of stoned from Zenned out, and it's great. But you just kind of like, it's all about like just staying out of the scene, unless you have to be in the scene. Like I've always been like, I'm not going to an event unless I'm part of it. Yeah. Unless my publicist is dragging me in there and saying, you have to go because you're creating awareness, but for the most part, it's like, you just want to disappear and just focus on your projects and write stuff and develop stuff. And we have all these like tools now. There's the internet, like just create and.
You kind of described my whole life, but I feel like I should hide now with you because I feel I'm a bit. I'm gonna hide with him.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Be sure to find 211 on Command. Thank you, Erin.
Love this whole thing. It's so much fun. I love the music coming in too. It was amazing.
And Julie Mintz is a goddess, right?
Oh my God, like she was incredible.
Yeah. She's a star.
Yeah, good for her. Well, she's going to explode, I can already tell.
Stay tuned, we'll be back with more Good Morning La La Land.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. As they say, she needs no intro, right? Well, I think it's like, we don't even need to, this is a good one because I can never remember anything, so it's perfect. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay,
How
Kelly
are you?
Johnson,
Yes.
you are so beautiful. It's
Thank
ridiculous.
you so much. Thank you. Well, I'm so happy to be here.
So happy to have you.
Yeah, I mean, what is a Monday like when you're wearing a crown?
So I love when I get to wear it because we don't always wear it. You know, I think it sometimes can be distracting, so we sometimes leave it at home. But when you have, you know, these kind of fun TV deals and you know get to come on Good Morning La La Land, it's like the best time. Where you're like, yay, I can be the
Now,
queen.
if I were at home, I would wake up with that crown on my head. I tell you what, I think I'd want to sleep in it.
I know, that's the truth. And we only have it for a year, so I'm like, you know, any opportunity to wear it. So.
What's your reign been like? What have you been up to?
It's been the best. It's been so much fun. Obviously, California is a ginormous state, so I'm all over the place all the time, but it's been a blast. We just went to Miss USA in May, so I competed and was able to get top 10 at Miss USA, so I was really proud. I wanted to, you know, do California the right way when we got there, and I don't know, just super busy. I'm also a full-time nurse, and I do a bunch of stuff with nursing, and so my year's just been very, very busy. Very busy. Lots of fun appearances, lots of kiddos, lots of charity work, volunteering. But yeah, busy. Super busy.
Take us to the moment when you won the title.
Oh gosh. So I decided a few months before Miss California to compete. Oh my gosh, there it
There
is.
we are.
There it is. I decided just a few months before this all happened because I had a full-time job. I was working, and I just thought to myself, there's 100 women. It can't be me. And so, but maybe I'll just give it a shot. It sounds like a really fun time, and then I won. So yeah, really crazy. My family was there, but.
So you didn't expect to win at all?
No, I mean.
A little bit, kind of?
I mean, I have 2 pageant experiences before this, and so I wasn't super experienced, but the only thing I could think of was that I was hoping it would be me. I graduated valedictorian in my university. I was in a full-time career, so I had that kind of maturity that I think a title holder of this caliber of California needed to have. And then I really wanted it. So I worked really hard on the health and fitness portion and preparing for interview, but I felt like I could be a good role model for little kids and for young women and professional women. And so I was hoping it could be me, but I knew that it would come down to a lot more of substance for me than it could be, I'm not the perfect, evening gown walk or swimsuit. So it would come down to who Kelly really was, and that's what they wanted.
But the title comes with a lot of responsibility.
Definitely. Not only do you have responsibilities to the community, we have actual appearances we make and going into schools and going into hospitals, but you have a responsibility to the tiny little minds that are watching you that are incredibly impressionable.
So Kelly, I have a question because I think that it's an interesting time in history where we're questioning things like body image and filters, and just there's so much pressure for everybody. And when you're usually, I would imagine in the pageant, you're always putting your best foot forward, and you probably don't talk about some of the real struggles you've gone through.
Sure.
What are some of those struggles you've gone through?
I think just like you said, it's honestly expressing the way that we prepare in a way that's not dangerous for the little girls that are listening. So for me, it's one of the biggest struggles I find is a little girl that comes up to me, what diet should I be on to be in a pageant? Well, that's, it's tough because you just want to tell them, and that's what I do try to tell them, is that it has nothing to do with that. What they're looking for is a woman that can represent a certain area or a state or the nation. It's not a specific body size. I think that it's just kind of a stigma that we have to break that barrier, but these are really intelligent women, and health and fitness is something that is different for every single person, and it doesn't have to be a certain number or a certain size or a certain even aesthetic look. It's really just what makes you feel great, and we're judged on confidence.
But what have you gone through? What has been some of your struggles like in your life?
Oh, and just overall. So I lost my dad to colon cancer when I was 4 years old. So that was kind of the reason that got me into nursing and propelled me into my career. But I think the way that that's affected me in the future is that I've gone on this public speaking tour because I've wanted to share my love of nursing and kind of what we do in healthcare to prevent these tragedies from happening. I've actually created my own health initiative that's been able to discuss those sorts of things, preventing living well, uncovering disease, and being proactive in your own health, but for those types of reasons. But I don't think it's really affected me as much in pageantry as much as it has in my public speaking and professional life.
Sorry about your dad.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's my biggest one, I think, that has definitely affected me. But, I mean, yeah, it's just it's been able to be this awesome, positive platform. So it's worked out, yeah.
You're the chief nurse advocate for Wanderly. Tell us a little bit about what that means.
Yes, so I'm very lucky. So because I am a registered nurse, I moved out to Los Angeles and found this incredible company called Wanderly. And I'm the chief nurse advocate. So what that means is I get to advocate for all the nurses that are in our travel nursing world. So that's what I do. I'm in travel nursing. So if you don't know what that is, when a hospital has a crisis need, so say it's flu season or something like that, and they really need more nurses, we're obviously in the American nursing shortage right now, we're that solution. So we're kind of a liaison between travel nursing agencies who usually place travel nurses and the hospitals that need travel nurses. And so, yeah, we're just this incredible technology market platform that's where travel nurses can come and they can compare different pay packages, which are pretty much their contracts, but from different agencies. And that's never been done before. So before you had to go to all these separate agencies and kind of figure out who would offer what for the same position. Now Wanderly has it where you can compare all the pay packages in one place, you can see all the jobs that you want to go to, and you can apply to them with one universal application, so you don't have to continuously upload all your information. So they're just solving a ton of problems for travel nurses, and so to be able to not only advocate for our profession, but also for our travel nurses at Wanderly is incredible.
Just incredible.
That's my job.
Beautiful, smart, so driven, so purpose-driven.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the most challenging part of your life right now and the most rewarding part of your life right now?
Oh gosh, the most challenging I think is managing everything. So like I said, I do a public speaking tour. I've given over 70 professional keynote speeches to nursing communities across the country. Yeah, so I'm traveling all the time. I'm Miss California, so I'm constantly running around with appearances that are super fun and, you know, modeling, and we have all these awesome fun things that we get to do as Miss California, and visiting all these kids especially. And then I'm also the chief nurse advocate for Wanderly, and then I run all my own companies on the side.
So you don't sleep.
No, I never
you wear the crown. So
I'm just constantly running around like a crazy person. But yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the most challenging, is just managing everything and finding the time to do all the things. But I love it. So, and I think the most rewarding is truly being able to represent the state of California. The California competition is the largest pageant in the entire universe. That's how many contestants compete, and to be able to represent California and not being someone who grew up doing this is a true honor. So.
Well, it's an honor for all of us to have you here.
Well, thank
representing.
you.
Absolutely.
I've been so excited to come and to wear the crown. I think it's my favorite. I'm like, you have to like kind of.
It doesn't matter how it falls on you; it always looks good. So you're good.
Congratulations again, and you
Thank
represent
you.
California absolutely splendidly.
Well, thank you. It was an honor to be on your show, and yeah, thanks for having me.
Where can people find you?
Absolutely.
Oh, so all my handles across social media are Real Nurse Kelly, and it's with an EY. Definitely MissCaliforniaUSA.org. You can or .com. Sorry, you can find us there. Wanderly the Wanderly Nurses website is wanderly.us, and Chief Nurse Advocate. You can find all my blogs, all my nursing information there. But yeah, Real Nurse Kelly with an EY.
The Real Nurse Kelly. Please stand up.
Yeah, if I stand up right now, I'll be out of frame because I'm 6'2".
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more. Good morning, La La Land.
You got this, girl. Here we go.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me laugh.
That was a good practice run, though.
It was a practice run, a little slow on the uptake. Let's.
Hi, my name is Jessie Golden, and I am the creator of The Golden Secrets, no, hang on a second, sorry. Can we start over?
I'm Wendy Brokaw. I'm Paula Marshall. By the way, this is politics, okay? This is not ticks. I hated it. Let's do it one more time.
Well, that's why I created Just a Thought meditation recordings, so that you can meditate in your sleep. Pause it there. Can you edit it in? Being new in town, it gives me a perspective on, oh shit, no, that was wrong. No, can we start all over? That's too much talking.
No, I'm an actress. I mean, you've seen me. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's like so hard. It's so hard. That was so hard.
Once you go chocolate, you don't want to stop it. Oh, God. I'll stop.
Let's do it one more time.
Bitching,
didn't work.
complaining.
Do it one more time.
We're gonna do it one more
time. Ready? And action.
Do I just talk again?
If you are vegan, you get a vegan broth. Jesus, guys. Fuck. I'm blah, blah.
I wish my boobs looked like yours. Where are they?
It's single issue. Single issue! Single issue!
Andy, did I make it fun yet?
Thank you. It's no longer a golden secret. We're done!
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. And if you are familiar with La La Land, we have such a funny culture here. And these two are part of, you're the creator, founder, actors, everything of Conversations in LA, Andy Cummings and Gustavo Velasquez. How are you guys?
Wow.
Great. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming in.
I love your show. It's hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
It's so funny. So just to tell us a little bit about the premise of the show.
Right. So Conversations in LA is a one-shot series. It's a 5-time Daytime Emmy-nominated series that is about an older woman, me, who meets a younger Hispanic man, and they fall in love. And it's also about Michelle Maccabee, my character's, sort of the challenges that she goes through with the midlife experience and menopause and all that good stuff.
We have a trailer right here.
It's,
I mean, beautiful. You two are magic together on screen, by the way.
Yeah,
You're magic together on this couch. You were magic on the red carpet. And watching the two of you is so beautiful. And what I love about this one take is that it really captures kind of the chaos of what I would imagine being that midlife crisis woman and reinventing yourself feels like, right? It's almost like you're in this world, you're really in the world, and it's spinning.
Right. I think that, I love what you mentioned. And so the idea behind the one shot is I want to submerge viewers into the world, their world, their friends' world. And, we're so used to seeing films and television where there's cuts. We continually go from one cut to another cut, and the background is always the same, which is beautiful. But my experience, 30 years of experience in the theater and being on stage for 2 hours at a time, I just thought, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the camera going. And so the blocking with my cinematographer is usually just this continuous camera movement. And now that we're in our 3rd season, it gets more and more risque. We just filmed an episode around an entire neighborhood in Marina Del Rey. It was 20 minutes of walking, stopping, running, you name it. Now we're doing an episode that goes in and out of a car for 30 minutes. Wow. It's so wild.
It's very cutting edge, and it's such important conversations. You talk about hot flashes, midlife, online dating, age, addiction, falling in love, hormones, unemployment, loss, porn, and feeling alive again. So sign me up.
No, I mean, Gustavo, you can chime in on this one.
I think Erin, earlier I heard him say about the craft, and I'm so thankful I spent like years and years and years training, because this one take to hold a scene for 25 minutes with no takes, like everything's on you as an actor, and her writing is so incredibly brilliant. Like, it's attracted Justin Kirk from Weeds and Angels of America. He did 2 episodes with us. Willie Garson from Sex and the City, he signed up. So to be able to work them is really understanding what vulnerability is as an actor, really wanting to just show your soul and not be afraid of it, and really go to distance with it. But this show, season 3, I feel like we really mastered it. We've been doing it for 3 years nonstop. Each rehearsal is a month long. Every single day we're going to a 10.
Every episode is a month, because it's just, it's highly choreographed. I work with a small crew of about 4 people. And my DP this year, Sebastian Heinrich, who's been my sole editor for almost 3 years now, he is taking this to a whole new level. It's so, I give him the sort of basic blocking, but he just runs with it in such a way. Like, we just did an episode with Willie Garson in a therapy office. He's our couples therapist. And I basically give him the point A to point B to point C type of blocking. But when we watched it at the end, it was so unbelievable. Sebastian Heinrich, we work with a single camera. It's a DJI Osmo, or right now we're working with a Sony a7R II on a gimbal. And it is just, I was blunt. I was like, Sebastian, I was like, give me 5, because we are all at that place now where we're mastering this technique. And, it's that rehearsal time. Our process is so important. So
it's so incredibly unique. And just this past season, you were nominated for Outstanding Lead Actor in Digital Daytime. Tell us a little bit about that. Really.
For both of us to be nominated, I've been, it was interesting listening to the amazing musician who was here before, because, I get it. I've been, I started writing when I was 6. I've been acting since I was 6 or so. This is just a lifelong journey for me. And when I moved to Los Angeles 3 years ago and I started working on this, it was just yet another project that I started to work on without the expectation that it was going to become this big thing. It was more, this is me and my craft, and this is what I'm doing as an actress, writer, director right now. And I call it my Jackson Pollock drip series phase, you know, because I love following painters and their sort of process. So I think of this as part of my journey, and I think that Gustavo feels the same way with his own
It's something
work.
You guys said earlier that something's happen in an instant, and something just take time. And like getting Emmy nominations, that's an instant. You find out. You go to the award show, that's an instant. You get actors who join, or you sell a show that happens in 1 second. But the journey to get there takes years and years and years of time, and because getting nominated, that didn't happen overnight. That took a lot of time.
Is it easy for you guys to stay motivated along the journey when you're waiting for things to kind of happen and unfold, or is it something that just comes naturally and easily?
I think of this as I'm not waiting for anything. This is what I'm doing. It's right now. It's not about what's next for me. It's about this, in this very moment. We are extremely grateful to be moving forward into season 3 and to see so many people on our team. Our casting directors, Jamie Rudovsky and Christy Faison, our publicists, Anderson PR, the actors, Justin Kirk, Willie Garson, some others that are coming on board this year. To see people working so hard with us and believing in my vision of one-shots. Let me tell you, the first year, people thought I was crazy. They're like, continuous camera movement in film and rehearsals in film? No way, no. In Los Angeles? And I'm like, yeah, we gotta rehearse.
Gotta be good.
You know what? Yeah, we really do. We need to rehearse, and I know that was kind of foreign to a lot of people at first, which from New York, people are like, yeah, we're going to rehearse. So, you know, it's just been interesting being here, but I think we motivate each other.
Yeah, it's being extremely grateful for the opportunity, especially to be a lead Hispanic actor in a absolutely breathtaking one-take series. Is just really grateful, but manifesting everything now, manifesting where we're going, where we are, and being present.
And we do a lot of that. We actually, both Gustavo and I think, and other people on our team, but you know, Gustavo and I really cheer each other on a lot. You know, we have up days and down days, like everybody in life. And, you know, I think it's been amazing working with Gustavo, because on some of my down days, he's there for me. And, you know, we face a lot of obstacles with one-take series. It's very challenging.
I took the realms producing this year, and I've learned a lot. And actors, you know, I had mindset of you just show up on set, you do the thing, you're the most important person there. But now producing, like, you're not. You're not.
No, I know. I said to Gustavo, I'm like, you really want to produce with me? Are you sure?
Yeah,
because producing is solutions. Find solutions to problems every single day.
Creative problem solving.
Absolutely.
So obviously your creativity of actually the production and the process is amazing, but the conversation.
Yes.
The conversations are so relatable. I mean, ageism and online dating and all this stuff. This is just content from your own life, like where you're just like,
I mean, I think that you know, if a writer says that these characters don't stem from them or come from them, they're lying, because you know, all of the characters that I write, I identify with. They're part of me. They're part of the people I've known. They're part of you know, the conversations I've had or I've overheard or I've listened to, you know. And so I just get into a zone where I make a decision that every episode is going to be about something important. It's an important conversation. And it's not about, I don't think about my audience per se, what do they want to hear? I think about what I need to say. And what do I think, I guess at the end of the day, too, what are people going to relate to? And, you know, this is a relationship. And it's an older woman, younger man, which I think some people can identify with. But at the end of the day, it's a relationship. And we all go through the struggles of love and a relationship. And, you know, it's not this sort of glossy, everything is rosy in this relationship, because it's not. I think that I dive deep into the psyches of these characters. And they have very real conversations, which I think for millennials, sometimes I wonder when I see people always on their phone, do they ever talk? Because whenever I make a phone call, people sound surprised. Like, what are you doing? Why are you calling me? You should be texting me. And so for me, it's a real joy to actually write conversations. And I think that people on my show are like, wow, this is 10 pages of a real dialogue.
I just love that. One of my favorite quotes, and I'm not going to get it right, but it's basically like, don't worry about what the world needs, worry about what makes you come alive. Like, discover that and go do that, because what the world needs most are people who are alive.
Right.
And I feel so alive watching Conversations in LA.
Oh
Just fantastic.
my gosh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, I feel alive writing it and doing it, and I think other people do too. Absolutely. They have that challenge of, wow, we're talking about something real here.
Amen.
Amen. We're waking up the world together. That's what Erin says.
Yeah.
So people can watch Conversations in LA on Amazon Prime. Where else can people follow you individually?
So on Instagram, but also I think people should just go right to conversationsinla.com. Perfect. And just go right to all of our social media through there.
Perfect.
Perfect.
So appreciate you guys.
So awesome,
Thank
you guys.
you.
I
Thank
love
you.
it. It's fun, it's sassy, it's enlightening, it's all of the above, and it's so LA. So
stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
Welcome back to Manifestation Monday on Good Morning La La Land. We're talking to some fantastic guests. And the question I have for everyone today is, what's the one tip you would share with people about manifesting something in their lives? So maybe we'll start with you.
Manifest big.
Yeah.
Don't manifest small. Go, if you're gonna manifest, do it right.
Love.
See it. See it in your mind first. See it really happening.
Did you see that with Conversations in LA?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Yes. And I continue to.
Love that.
I think the one thing I've learned is don't worry about how it's going to come about. Just keep visualizing it.
Love it.
Perfect.
Just be the person that you're trying to become.
Don't wait.
Live your truth.
No, just own that space.
Love that.
You deserve it.
Love that.
Yeah, mine would be don't let anyone else tell you the way you should live your life or what you want to manifest or what you want to happen to you or for you. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not possible. Don't let anyone limit what you want.
Love that.
That's right.
Living proof. We are Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. You can also catch each of these interviews as a podcast. We are Good Morning La La Land on iTunes.
That's right. We're waking up the world together. Manifest everything you want today. You manifest anyways. Might as well consciously do it.
It's going to be a Good Morning La La Land.
True that, right? True that.